All right, let's get started. So it's 10 a.m. So thank you very much for being here. And now, Amy, welcome. And meanwhile, other people will be joining the webinar. So my name is Javier Ortiz. I'm going to be your mentor throughout this program. So first of all, I want to congratulate you for being here and for taking the decision of investing in yourself and learning new and valuable skills. So I'm a graduate of Udacity's Data Analyst Nano degree myself. And throughout the program, I learned a lot about exploratory data analysis with visualizations in R, Tableau. I learned a lot about practical statistics like hypothesis testing, T-students. I learned a lot about data wrangling, Python, and its that data libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. So it's a great course, and once again, congratulations for investing in yourselves. So let's get started. So I'm going to mute some of you guys if you want to say your name, your location, and what do you expect to get from this nano degree. So really briefly, in a couple of sentences, your name, location, and what do you expect to get from this nano degree. So I'm going to start with Nam. Robin, welcome to the webinar. So Nam, can you introduce yourself? I'm unmuting you right now. So
yeah, sure, Harva. So I'm currently in Chicago. So I've moved in here like a couple of months back. So I was earlier working with Accenture as an application lead. So like I've worked with big data and I was doing a lot of Hadoop and Hive before. So I would like to touch up on Spark and like get to know and upscale my skills on that. So that's why I'm here.
awesome. You came to the right place. Welcome, Nam. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's go with Amy. Can you please introduce yourself? I'm unmuting you right. Oh, I think you have to control your own mute button. Oh, there you go, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I am based in Houston. I was working before as data analyst for basically an oil and gas data bank. It was a small startup, and I recently quit. I guess I'm having a quarter life crisis, and I'm trying to. I realized that I wasn't interested in oil and gas, and that the domain. I was having a hard time motivating myself to learn about that domain, so I decided to quit and focus on things that I really cared about, like library science, information science, and education. So hopefully I would, and retail, I would like to gain some skills so I could use my previous work experience and this Udacity Nano degree to get hopefully a job in a museum doing data engineering or data analysis, or going to a fashion retailer and doing the same there. So that's why I'm here.
That's awesome, Amy. I think it's all right to have a quarter life crisis. And meanwhile, if you're investing in yourself and learning skills. So it's all right to have a crisis if you're investing in yourself and developing new skills. So I think you're doing just fine. Thank you, Amy.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Let's go with Robin. Robin, I'm going to mute you. Can you please? I think you need to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you, Robin.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so I'm a software engineer at a company called Healthify. We build software for assisting individuals for finding social services, in a nutshell. And so basically managing data is a big part of the service that we offer. And so we do have a data scientist, but with more data, with more needs, there comes a lot more complexity. And so I'm taking this course to assist with that process of fine-tuning our workflows, understanding the right tools to get the job done as our database or as our data set grows. And so I was happy to see the data engineer nano degree because it seems so focused on, fitting all of those pieces together to get the infrastructure right, enabling the data scientists to focus on data science stuff, whereas right now the data scientist is kind of filling all the roles. And so as part of our squad, I'm basically being a bit proactive to fill in a lot of those tasks. And so, yeah, data engineering, data science is something that I've always been interested in, but haven't really had a chance to dive into. And yeah, this is the start of that part of my journey.
That's awesome, Robin. Yeah, and many people confuse those things like data engineering and data science, and even they both fall in the same umbrella of the data. They are different and that they use different technologies. So that's awesome, and you came to the right place. Welcome, Robin. Awesome. All right. So more people will be joining the webinar. But meanwhile, let's get started with the presentation. I'm going to share my desktop with you guys, and so we can get started with the presentation. All right. All right. Can you see the presentation? All right. Am I not like covering the whole thing with my face or anything? No. All right. So you let me know if that's what's happening. All right. Okay. So welcome to our first Data Engineering Nano Degree webinar. Title of this presentation is Welcome Orientation Webinar and Introduction to Data Modeling. So today is April 3rd, 2019, 10 a.m. my time zone. So let's get started. So the outline for this presentation, I'm going to give the purpose of the study group and a Slack overview. Then we'll move on to one-on-one mentor meetings, what are those, and personalized learning plans. Then move on to weekly webinars, the AMA sessions. Then I'll give you a walkthrough to the Udacity classroom, what to do if you need help, and finally a brief intro to data modeling. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start with the study group and a Slack overview. So as you've already noticed through Slack, you are part of a bigger community of all Udacity students, but you're also part of a smaller community of a study group, all right? And this study group consists of 15 to 30 people, most of the time. This time it's 30 people, and I'm going to be the mentor of those 30 students, all right? And the purpose of that study group is to create an engaging community over Slack through group chat sessions. So the more you participate, the better the group will be. And we can support each other. So it's not just about me supporting you guys, but it's you supporting between yourselves, between you, and to share motivational and industry-related content with the group. All right, so I'm going to give a Slack overview and tell you all about the weekly roundup. So let me move to Slack. So this is Slack. And this is the home of our study group, all right? And here I'm going to, okay, here it is. So this, I already pinned it to the study group, and it's like a summary of how to navigate Slack. So Slack is all about channels. You are part of the Udacity students, bigger channel, but you have specific channels for specific topics, all right? And all right, I have to change the screen. Sorry, guys. Let me share that. Slack. Okay, so now you're able to see it. Can you see Can you now see the Slack screen? Awesome. All right. So here you have the different channels. And the first channel is the AMA events. So basically the AMA events is Ask Me Anything. And Udacity brings along software developers, data scientists. So they bring like awesome people, and basically they host events where you can ask anything you want. The second channel is announcements. So in announcements, basically Udacity each week hosts different kinds of events. And if you want to keep up with those events, this is a place to watch. Careers is where you can ask a career coach everything you like to know about career advice, job hunting, tips, ideas, more. So this is what this channel is about. Now, if you want to get a specific help for your nano degree, you have the School of, in your case will be data, discussion. So here you'll find all the people that are part of the nano degrees related to data. So you have the data analyst nano degree, the data engineer, which is you guys. You have the data scientist, and I think you'll also have the business intelligence. All right, and you can ask any topic that is field related, right? Now here in Pure Help, this is a channel that I don't have, but you have. You do have it. You'll find all the people that are part of the same nano degree as you guys. All right. So if you have a question, if you have an idea regarding a lesson, this is a place to talk it. Okay, specifically to your nano degree. Then you move on to the project number and your nano degree. And here you'll find questions and ideas about specific projects that you're working on. And finally, you'll find the home of our study group, which is DEND session 963, where you'll find the other members of your study group, and you'll find me. All right. Now, in the introduction channel, which is this one right here, basically you can introduce yourself, and all the members of Udacity are part of this community, of this channel. Find a study buddy. That's useful if you want to find someone in the same time zone as you, the same availability as you, just to check in through direct messages. And then let's move on to some notifications. So basically those are the channels of Slack. All right. If you want to manage your notifications, you go here where it says preferences. And here in preferences, you can set up your Slack to notify you for all new messages, which I don't recommend because it can get really, really busy. So you'll receive basically an email every time someone writes something in Slack. I have mine one set to direct messages, mentions, and keywords. So basically every time someone tags me, Slack sends me an email, right? And you can also set a specific settings for a channel. So for example, I don't know, if maybe introductions, if I don't care about it, maybe I can just mute the entire channel. All right. Or you can say, don't send me any messages regarding that specific channel. All right. So that's how can you set up specific channels. Then Control F right here, you can search for a term in the channel. So for example, if you want to know something about, I don't know, the webinar, just Control F in our study group channel. Look for it, and oh, here I find it, the webinar. This is the link, for example, if you want to look for it. And Control K allows you to change between the different channels just with a simple click. And another tip is download the Slack app for on-the-go support. That's really, really useful, right? And so that's changing between channels, settings, and most of our communication, actually, yeah, most of our communication will occur through this channel and through our weekly webinars and one-on-one sessions. So each week on Tuesdays, that's when we start the week, I'm going to send a week roundup. Okay, I'm going to tag you, so you will also get this in an email if you have that setting turned on. And basically, I'm going to mention all the lessons that you have to complete in that week to stay on schedule. I'm going to mention any scheduled events that I consider relevant, which is basically our webinar and an AMA session that I'll host through our channel each week. The one-on-one mentor meetings that you have to schedule, and I'll mention it in the next couple of slides. If you have any deliverables like a project or something coming up, reminders, and I like to give a shout out of the week just to keep you guys motivated. So that's basically what the Slack channel is about. So let's open the floor for questions. If you have questions about Slack before moving to the next topic, which is one-on-one mentor meetings. And I don't know if any one of you has a question regarding Slack. Okay. Everything clear? Nope. All right. No questions. Okay. It seems that we don't have any questions regarding Slack. So let's move on to the next slide. All right. So one-on-one mentor meetings. All right, so the purpose of the one-on-one mentor meetings is to create personalized weekly learning plans, all right? So I'll have a one-on-one meeting with you guys each week, and it's going to last 30 minutes, all right? And what we're going to do, we're going to review the previous week, and we're going to come up with a learning plan for the next week, and then we'll spend some minutes answering technical and project-related queries, all right? So I'm going to let you know, I'm going to show you right now the different format that we're going to use for this, and how to schedule the one-on-one meeting. All right, so when we'll have our one-on-one meeting, I'm going to create a document for each one of you. And in this document, as you can see, we'll have all the different dates of the nano degree, all right? And here are the different lessons, okay, a schedule for you to finish the nano degree on time. All right, so let's say we have our first call this Sunday, next Wednesday, we have a call, right? So what we're going to, oh, actually this was an example I was doing. So let's say we have our call on Monday, all right? All right, so we have our call on Monday. So I'm going to ask you like, oh, like this was the plan for the previous week. Did you achieve it? Were there any hassles, any questions? And then you would say, oh yeah, I did it, but I didn't finish, I don't know, data modeling relational data models. I didn't finish that lesson. All right, so what we're going to do this week, we're going to come up with a new plan for you to be on schedule. So let's say, okay, so you're going to focus today on relational data models, but you have to start working on your project at Wednesday would be like the best time for you to be starting your project. So I'm going to write start project, right? So that will leave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days before you have to deliver the project, all right? And in that way, I'm going to help you stay on schedule to make sure that you deliver all the projects on time, all right? So this will be our main tool for you to keep a schedule of all the lessons that you have to be learning each day. All right, so that would be the first part, and then we'll open the space for questions and queries about projects or about lessons you didn't understand, right? So how do you set up these weekly one-on-one call? Really easy. I have shared this page with you through the Slack channel. This is my personal Calendly account. So basically you click here where it says one-on-one mentor, and here you'll see my availability for the next 7 days, all right? So you have to schedule this 7 days in advance. And let's say like you want to schedule for next Tuesday. So here next Tuesday, you will see my available spots, and you can choose the one that is better suited to your needs, right? So usually I'll open Monday through Saturday. It's just that these weeks I have a different schedule, but usually you'll find something Monday through Saturday, right? And there are many spots for you to choose. So choose the one that suits you the best. Then you have to click on confirm. It will ask you for your name, your email address, you schedule the event, and that's pretty much it. And when it's time for your meeting, all you have to do is make sure you are logged into Slack, and I'm going to call you through a direct message, and we'll have this one-on-one interaction. All right? So any questions regarding the weekly one-on-one mentor meetings? You can, through the chat, let me know if you have any question. If we don't have any questions regarding the weekly one-on-one, let's move on to the next part of the presentation. All right. So moving on to the next point in the presentation, let's talk really quickly about weekly webinars. So weekly webinars are basically this. The next webinars will focus more on technical contents, right? So I'm going to give you walkthroughs of the projects. I'm going to give you tips and extra resources for the tricky parts of the projects. and that's where we'll spend the vast majority of the time of the webinar. And then I'll open the floor for questions and technical queries, all right? And they're going to be via Zoom, and I'm going to send the link just as I did this time. Hopefully nobody had any issues joining the webinar. If you experience an issue, why don't you let us know right now so that the people watching the webinar that the recording, they maybe benefit from that. Like, did any of you guys have any issues joining the webinar? Was everything smooth? Really easy? Good so far, no issues for me. So it's really straightforward. You basically click on the link that I sent you that you can find in the weekly roundup, and it leads you to a Zoom website. I think you need to download the Zoom app, but you just have to click and accept, and that basically is pretty much it. All right, so there are no questions about the weekly webinars. They're going to last from 40 minutes to 1 hour. I'm going to record each session. So in case you cannot attend that webinar, I'm going to share the recording with you. All right. So there are no more questions about weekly webinars. We'll move on to the next part. Okay. Oh, I think I was already sharing the presentation. Okay, going back to the presentation now. Let's go to, it doesn't let me move on. I must have clicked something. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. But you can hear me all right, and you can see the presentation, right? Let me know through the chat. You can hear me all right, because I just clicked something accidentally. Okay, you can hear me all right. Let's move on to the next part then. Okay, so let's move on to the AMA sessions. So AMA stands for Ask Me Anything, all right? And each week I'll hold a 30-minute Ask Me Anything session through the Slack channel of our study group. So basically you can think of it as office hours, all right? So if you have any question and we are through that AMA session, you can ask it right there and I'll answer it live. Say something, all right? So this is really easy, really straightforward. And so there are no questions about the AMA sessions. Let's go to the Udacity Classroom overview. And here we have the, one second, let's move on to the next one. All right. Okay, so this is your classroom. So hopefully everybody has access to your classroom now. And you already had a chance to walk through the different things offered here. So right here, where it's program home, okay, you'll have this cool application that is a study plan, right? Where you can plan your study sessions throughout the week. So as you know, it's expected from you to spend 10 hours per week working on the contents of the nano degree. So if you want to plan accordingly, let's say, oh, this week I'm planning to study mornings and evenings, just the Wednesday. So if you were to do that, just to study Wednesday this week, you would have to spend 5 hours on the morning and 5 hours on the evening, all right? So that's not a great idea. So let's say I'm going to do that for the whole week. And maybe Sunday, oh, this takes us, okay, so I'm going to do that. And so I need to spend 1 hour 15 on the morning, 1 hour 15 in the evening, from Wednesday to Saturday to spend my 10 hours in the classroom, all right? Then you can save it and you can actually add it to your calendar, to Google Calendar, whatever calendar you use. All right. So let me give you a walkthrough of the different core curriculum. So you have 6 parts. Okay, the core curriculum consists of 6 parts, and part 1 is really, really short. It shows estimated time right here of 1 hour 15 minutes, and you have any projects due here. For part 2, it lasts approximately 28 days, and you have to turn in 2 projects. All right. Now, if you click, oh, let me just finish this. Then part 3, it lasts 28 days. You have 1 project. For part 4, which focuses on data lakes with Spark, you have 2 projects, estimated time of 30 days. Part 5, you have 2 projects, again, estimated time of 30 days. And we finish it up with capstone project, which you have 35 days to complete. Now, if you click on the specific part, it will show you the lessons, and it would show you how much time do you need to finish that lesson so that you can plan accordingly, right? And it will show the due date for the project. So the first project you have, it's due in 14 days. So if today is April the 3rd, you add 14 to that, so that's 17th, right? And that will be the due date of your first project, and that way you can plan accordingly. Now, another couple of cool things that we have over here. This is your career portal, and the career portal is really cool because it personalizes your track, and you can use this for resumes, reviews. You can use this for networking lessons, polish your pitch, help you set up your LinkedIn account. So I really recommend you to be working through this throughout the course. So this is just like additional resources that Udacity makes available for you. And this right here is really, really cool. This is the knowledge bubble. Basically, it's like kind of a Slack channel forum where you can look for a specific queries regarding technical questions of the nano degree. All right. So if you're, I don't know, you're having trouble with, let's say, data engineering, you're having trouble with the data model with Apache. All right. So you'll find some questions over here, and you can actually post new questions for other people to answer. So I really recommend you do that in case that you are struggling with different lessons of the nano degree. And here in the Studying Hub, it's basically like Slack channel live. So people who are active can answer your queries right there, as basically all the other students of the nano degree. All right. So any questions about the Udacity classroom so far? Everybody was able to log into the classroom? Everybody like got a pretty good idea of how to navigate the classroom? All good? All right. So I suggest you spend some time just clicking on stuff on the classroom and using it for your queries, definitely. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. We're halfway through it. All right, so what to do in case you need help. All right, so the best way to get help is actually our Slack channel. All right, our study group Slack channel. That is my preferred way of communicating with me, apart from our weekly one-on-ones. Because when you post there a question, a query, a comment, anything, you actually benefit others from that same experience. So if you ask me through a direct message to Slack, that's cool, I'll answer it definitely. But I prefer you post your questions in the Slack channel so that everybody can benefit from your questions and actually from everybody's answers. So if somebody asks a question and you know the answer, don't wait for me to post the answer. You can actually help your classmate, and you maybe even help him or help her better than myself, because you recently just figure out the way to learn that concept or go over that struggle, and you can help that person better because you have a fresher memory, right? So that's one way to get help. Another way is are all the other Slack channels. The Student Hub that I just showed you, the one with the light bulb, the Student Hub with light bulb, And we also have the udacity.com contact. All right, so this is basically like, let me share that one with you. It's right here. Okay, so here in contact, you have like a basic FAQ. You have the content questions. Basically, if you have any questions regarding the nano degree, and for everything else, you can submit a request. Now, if you're having issues with a payment, if you're having issues with, I don't know, you're having trouble with your classroom, you cannot log in, or any of those technical questions regarding administrative questions, I suggest you do submit a request, but also through a direct message, you can share with me the ticket ID, all right? Because I have access to other technical people, and we can push from both sides. From your side, you submit the request, but myself, I can like escalate it to different people, and so that we can solve your issues as soon as possible. All right. So that's getting help. Any questions regarding getting help? And basically, at the end of the day, if you need to DM me through Slack, that's fine. Just make sure it's something personal that you don't feel comfortable sharing with other people. If it is something that you don't mind sharing with other people, let's use the session channel. All right. Okay, so I'm going to open the floor for questions regarding the welcome part of it, of the presentation. Basically, you have any questions regarding the weekly webinars or the one-on-one meetings with me, or the MA sessions, or the Udacity Classroom, or Slack. Any questions regarding that? All good? No questions from me? All right. So I think we're doing great with that. Awesome. So if that's the case, let's move on really quickly to the last part of the webinar, which is the intro to data modeling. So hopefully so far you already got a chance to start working through the lessons. All right. So I'm going to just clarify some concepts and go to extra resources. It's going to last 5 minutes, and then I'll open the floor for questions and to finish up the introductions of the other participants that join later. All right. So intro to data modeling. So the first thing that you need to understand is what is a database. And a database is basically a collection of data. All of us have worked in the past with Excel, spreadsheets or Excel, right? And what you have there is a database, basically. When you have many tables, many tabs, basically that's a database, because it's a collection of data. So what we want to do here is we're going to take this into bigger scale with the databases that you're going to build. And data can be stored, updated, or deleted from a database. That's basically why we do it through a database and we don't do it through a notebook, right? Because we can electronically store, update, and delete this information. And now the software that we use to access this database by the user and application is the database management system. For example, MySQL or Oracle. I know some of you are familiar with these different database management systems. All right. Now, the purpose of data modeling is to organize data into a database system. All right. So at the end of the day, data modeling is about organizing data into database systems. And the first question that we need to ask ourselves is, what kind of data needs to be retained or served to our business users and end users? So in the first project, actually, we'll ask you for a small summary or small thought exercise of, let's imagine you're a startup, you sell music online. So think like, where in the different processes do you need to retain or serve data to business users and end users? So that's the first question that you need to ask yourself when you start doing data modeling. And data modeling is the process of it. It has 3 main steps, all right? The conceptual part of it, the logical part of it, and the physical. So let's dive into those. So what is conceptual data modeling? So conceptual data modeling basically is entity mapping. Okay. Now, an entity in data modeling, entities are all the objects or concepts we want to track data about. All right. So you're a business, you want to track data about the products, for sure. You want to track data about vendors, you want to track data about customers, you want to track data about sales, about stock. So all of those or objects or concepts you want to track, those will become your entities. And in this step, you define your entities and you define the relationships between these entities. For example, right here, I know for sure that I want to track data about products and I want to track data about vendors. So what is going to be the relationship between these two? Okay, so I know that a vendor can supply me with different products, right? It's almost never the case where one product is supplied by many vendors, right? So these relationships would be products to vendors will be many to one, right? That means that many products can be supplied to one vendor. So in this part of the data modeling process, you're establishing the different entities and the different relationships that you're going to have between these entities, all right? And in the next part of the data modeling process, that's the logical data modeling. What you're going to do, you're going to take these conceptual models and map them to different tables, schemas, and columns, all right? And so you have your entity, right, which is the object you want to track data about. And these entities have attributes, and those are the details we want to track about entities. And these attributes, the details you want to track, are going to become the columns in the different tables. So for example, the products, what do I want to track about my product? I want to track the product ID, the vendor ID who sold it to me. I want to track the product name and the UPC, the code, right? What do I want to track about vendors? Okay, I want to track the vendor ID, I want to track the vendor name. So these will become the tables of my database, right? This is the second step of the data modeling process. And finally, the physical data modeling part of the process, that's where we start to code, all right? We start to code the data definition language, basically the language that the database understands, to create tables, all right, in the way that the database will understand. And here we have an example, all right? We have a cursor and we execute a command where we're creating a table, and the name of the table is products, and the product ID, that's our attribute, will be an integer, and the vendor ID will be an integer, the product name will be a character, and the UPC will be an integer. So what I have here, the table of products, I coded it so that the database could understand it and create it in the physical space of our database. Okay, so this is the introduction of data modeling, and this is where we'll be focusing in the first part of the course of the program, and learning these different DDLs so that you can translate different tables and schemas that you develop in the first stages of data modeling into a physical data model. All right, so we are close to our ending time. So first of all, I'm going to open the floor for questions about any questions. It's accepted, and then I'm going to give time for the people that just arrived to present themselves. All right. So any questions about data modeling, about the program? Okay. I think we're all right. Awesome. Okay, so if there are no further questions, really quickly, I'm going to unmute some people that just arrived. So Sujit, is that how you pronounce it? Can you please introduce yourself? So basically, really briefly, your name, location, and what do you expect the most to get from this nano degree?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you all right.
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Sujit Mapadat. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas. I'm um, very. I work in a field which is not really related to what we're doing here. I'm a PeopleSoft consultant. I've been doing this for ages. I'm just looking to learn new technologies. I just recently got certified in AWS, and that set me up to on the learning path. So that's why I'm just here to learn new stuff. I mean, data is not new to me. I mean, we do deal with databases and things like that. So it's just really a venue for me to pick up new technology, basically.
Awesome. Welcome to the course, Sujit. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's go with Ligia. I'm going to unmute you so that or you need to unmute yourself. All right.
Yeah, hey everybody. My name is Li Jiao. You can call me Justin. I'm based in Austin, Texas, but I'm quickly gonna move to Detroit, Michigan, to start a new job as a machine learning engineer. So some of my job will be related to database, big data, data lake, data warehouse. I wasn't an expert in this area. I was mainly a data scientist and machine learning engineer. But I think this is a great opportunity to learn new stuff and really get deep to learn what's going on in data engineering. So I hope to learn what I can use in a future job. So I'm very looking forward to it.
Awesome, and congrats for the new job.
Thanks.
All right, and I think you just have one more introduction. That's Sunita, right? Can you introduce yourself, please, Sunita?
Yes, hi, this is Sunita. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you all right.
All right. Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas, and currently I'm on vacation in India, so I'm speaking from here. But I've been in the data field for the last 6-7 years. Before that, I've worked a lot in databases as such, in Oracle and a lot of other different suites. So I work a lot with ETL and data warehouses and data marts, but I'm not much into the Java side of things or even into Python and stuff. I have just recently learned Python. So I wanted to further expand my skills from there into more of the data engineering kind of side. It's not anything that's not new to me, but the core skills, the actual hands-on, and I want to get more into that. So that's my the whole premise for joining this course.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very much, and welcome to the course, Anita. Just a couple of reminders before ending the presentation. I forgot to mention here in the classroom, you have, besides the core curriculum, you have extracurricular courses, which is really, really cool. You have an intro to Python, SQL for data analysis, command line essentials, and Git and GitHub. So you have tons of resources. It can be overwhelming sometimes, like working on the lessons and the projects and working on the extracurricular stuff and career resources. What I suggest you do, if you're struggling with different parts of the project, I don't know, regarding Python, you can come check some lessons specific to the problem you're facing. Or you're struggling with some SQL queries, for example, you can come here to answer those questions, right? And finally, I just want everybody to please schedule through Calendly our one-to-one meeting where we can discuss things regarding your specific queries and create your weekly personalized learning plan. So that would be the next step. I'm going to post my Calendly page for you to schedule the one-on-one mentor meeting, and that would be it. So thank you very much for joining the webinar. You're awesome. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm really excited about this program, and anything I can help you with, contact me through Slack, and have a great learning week. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, Javier, where can so I joined late, so where can I get the first half of the webinar?
I'm going to upload the recording to YouTube, and I'm going to share the link through the Slack channel. I think
That's
tomorrow
awesome.
we'll have it.
All right, that's awesome. I just want to have a quick idea. What did I miss?
Oh yeah, let me share the presentation with you.
Awesome.
I think you can see it now, right?
Yes, I can see it.
So basically, I explain everything about Slack, like the different channels, how do they work. I explained about the one-on-one mentor meetings and how to and the different formats we're going to use for these meetings, how to schedule them, how to join the weekly webinars. The AMA session is going to hold AMA session weekly of 30 minutes, and I gave like a walkthrough of the Udacity classroom, the different resources where you can get help, and that's basically it.
Okay, great. I'll just wait for the link and I'll check it out maybe tomorrow.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Bye.